Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another horrific review. Oh dear, I have to tell you, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel now. I'm trawling through Netflix, and their offerings aren't the best. But here we go. We're going to talk about Dead Silence now. I think I missed this one when it first came out, and it wasn't until I watched this I realized I'd caught a quick review of it somewhere else, like a year ago or something. James Wan strikes again. God, what is it about this guy that every one of his movies looks, sounds, and follows the same beats? Like, you can barely tell the difference between one or the other. As I say, this is if you're a fan of James Wan, you're just going to get the same formula, nothing different. If you're not too fussed on him, pass this one by. It's just a paint by numbers. So effectively, what you got here, the story is, you got Jamie and his wife Lisa. They start off in an apartment. They're all lovey-dovey, life's peachy. And then you get a mysterious knock on the door. You see this in the trailer anyway, but there's not much to spoil because it's a James Wan movie. Put it like that. This mysterious package appears, or turns out to be a box with a ventriloquist dummy inside. Now you receive a strange package, and also it's not even like a carpet. It's like a wooden velvet lined box. So of course you can give them something strange, and what you do is you take it all out and you set it and you prop it up because yeah. With this movie, I think we're back. Even the internet doesn't want me to talk about this movie. Is that horrendous? Right, here we go. So blah blah blah. Dummy arrives. James goes out get Chinese, and then typical James Wan spooky score, jump scare, take ages to get there, jump scare, jump scare. Wife gets killed. Rah, boo. Yeah, you see the same ghostly apparition woman figure that he uses in every one of his fucking movies. Oh, it's the same thing. It's what did you call that other one? Insidious series. I think was he involved in that, but it looks I can't tell the difference between the Conjuring universe and that universe because they all look exactly the same. In fact, they use Patrick Wilson in both, but that's just the same. Same character, maybe dressed up slightly different, but it's it's the same character. So needless to say, Jamie's wife gets killed. Cue the police and stuff arriving. Now this is the weird bit that just completely took me out of the movie. This guy's brought in, police detectives want to talk to him, and he comes off with the biggest mad dog pish you can imagine. It was said in my village that's the ghost of Mary Shaw, blah blah. Who the fuck says that to the police when you're the person that found your wife murdered? It was just the dialogue in this is ropey as hell. In fact, that's one of the worst things about the movie is the dialogue. It's shockingly bad the whole way through this. Anyway, that all happens. Jamie can go back to his apartment immediately because forensics don't do any checking or blah 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 anything. He just goes back in and he checks it all out again, or he checks the box, and then the thing in the box says from Mary Shaw. So that means he's going back to his hometown. No setup or whatever, just okay, right? He's going back to his hometown, so he apparently knows what this is all about. But yet he's feeling ignorance about why this would arrive. like I said, the dialogue in this is pretty bad in the story writing. So he goes back to see his father. And this girl, I mean, effectively, she's closer to Jamie is, but it's supposed to be his latest wife. And we have his dad decrepit in a wheelchair, oxygen mask. Your typical, and near the end of my life, I've got a trophy wife waiting for me to die. It'll take all my money, sort of thing. You know what I mean? This is just cliche after cliche after cliche. And he comes in with, I'm only here to ask questions, and basically asks nothing. And the dad says nothing. And it's all a bit weird. And then he storms out again. Where'd he go next? I tell you what, I was wigging in and out throughout this movie. I only watched it a couple of hours ago there. Honestly, I was zoning in and out. It was just that boring. He goes to the Undertaker, I think. Yeah. Goes to the Undertaker, making preparations. Yeah, because his dad offered to make preparations for his wife's funeral. He refuses. Some big grandstanding. You never understood me, Daddy. That kind of shit. You don't care because you haven't had a. You've barely had a minute to get the backstory and to get any sort of affinity for these characters to understand what their dynamics are. It's all just kind of there. So, yeah, it's hard to like really care about anybody. Care about Lisa. They made her alright to be a nice character, like, but they were setting her up so you kill her. You know what I mean? And that's the whole premise of the story anyway. But yeah, yada yada. Our body's arriving tomorrow. So this can all happen in the space of 24 hours. As a murder investigation, forensic evidence gets collected, and the wife's body released and sent for burial within 24 hours. Because this is what this movie's basically telling us. He's able to go back, to his flat straight away. I should have got beer tonight, but Friday's my beer night. Try and behave myself for the rest of the week. Yeah. So already, just with the whole timing and stuff and the pacing of this, and that's what fucking James Wan does. He rushes weird bits and he drags out others. He has this real problem in his movies with pacing. So you're kind of like, come on, get the next bit, and then it kind of rushes through the important parts, and then it fucking drags out all the spooky scene, the exact same spooky scenic things he's done in every movie he's ever made. Such a shame. He was okay once, and then he just showed he'd repeat the formula. He's nothing more. I mean, he's might have had one good idea in his time, and then that's it. Just everything bland that's the same. I'm really starting to test the guy. In fact, I think it's getting to the point now. If I see a James Wan movie, I'm just going to be like, nope, not interested. I'll nope it out because, God, this is awful. So the Undertaker's wife starts seeing things in Yavern, and this sort of happens. And then he gets strip fed to go and check out the old theatre, and he meanders about. And there's this bit where he's in the theatre, and there's the gantry above the top, and of course the bolt is loosened. Now he goes back to this thing about 3 times throughout the movie, and each time it's shake, 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 the bolt's loosened. You're like, yes, okay, it's going to fall. We know it's going to fall. All right then. Yes, you've explained to us that the bolt's loose and it's going to collapse. Fucking And then finally when it does collapse, you're like, yeah, we saw that was coming. Like, this is how formulaic and crap his movies are. But turns out he's trying to find out who sent the ventriloquist dummy. And then we get the backstory of Mary Shaw, who nobody can say her name. And apparently a boy went missing. He was at her show. And then the villagers took... And I say the villagers because this is a small town, but they're making it like a medieval village, the mindset. Took their revenge on her. And then it turns out she did kidnap the boy. So they were justified in doing what she did, but she cursed them anyway. And then the idea is that all the lineage gets wiped out, and that's why they're doing it. What else did they do? Oh yeah, kill of the what do you call it? The Undertaker, and he used exactly the same crawl space as the exact same shots, almost shot for shot as the Conjuring. They have a guy going through a crawl space and spooky woo woo, white hand, scary face, wow. This is the same for every freaking movie he has made, and it's just annoying. Like James Wan's just annoying now. It's not even. I wouldn't even say bad. It's just like go away, son. Go on. Somebody hand him a bunch of money just to go away. That'd be the best thing. Just a load of studios chip in. Okay, James, here's a load of money for you not to make any more movies. Go and retire. Um, Live in Hollywood, get cooked up, do whatever you do. But yeah, just go away and don't make any more movies, please. Yeah, let's do a crowdfunding campaign. Okay, we'll go, James. How much money do you need not to make any more movies, please? And we'll all chip in. And it'd be worth everyone chucking in a quid each to go. We'll never see any of this type of stuff again. That's just my humble opinion. So, the detective, God, he comes back too. So he follows him. So obviously, he didn't skip time because the detective knows where to go to find him quickly, and the detective's got time. Not the same uniform for someone, and he didn't arrest him. So he's not a suspect, but he is a suspect. And this weird alpha male type shit happening. Oh, it was just that's another horrendous, pointless character. And then the doll disappears, the doll reappears, disappears again. Some more spooky woo woo stuff. Yeah, and that you basically, as usual, James, you just snore your way through until the final sort of scene. And we'll go to the movie, or sorry, the theater, the old school theater, which apparently this Mary Shaw used to perform in. And she's a bit of a psycho. And a wee boy calls her out, and it's like, nah, I'm going to curse you all. No, haven't heard of this movie. You don't want to. It's shit. It is typical James Wan crap. If you've seen one James Wan movie, you've seen them all. Effectively, that's it. It's absolutely horrendous. And this just goes back. To go back to this theater from the flashback. Like I said, I'm trying physically to keep my focus on the TV and my brain not to have an aneurysm just to get to the end of this movie. And that's pretty much all. What I mean? It's just like, oh, I'm awake. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, spooky. Right, you go back a bit. Oh, right, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everything happened. Nothing happened. The end. That's a James Wan movie. And then it turns out that she wanted to be this whole fucking plot storyline of her wanting to be buried with her dolls. And then all the dolls getting dug up. And this detective goes and starts digging up all the graves because that's what you do if you're a detective. You go and you dig up graves randomly. You don't call uniform or you don't get forensics in. You don't do an investigation. You just go rogue on your own and do random shit. And that's what this guy does. And you're just like, can this movie get any more dumb? Is there any more dumb left in the movie? But there is. There's plenty of dumb to go because the whole scene at the Eminem Theatre turns out she's built this elaborate set of cases for her dolls. Like when she asked for that in the first place. So she asked for all her dolls to get buried with her, and then she's had them all dug up magically and then puts them all in these intrinsic glass cases. And it turns out she's possessing her dolls, all 100 and something of them, her children. It's a terrible movie. Dale, it's an absolutely awful movie. Like most of the stuff. If you've seen the Conjuring series, The Nun, I keep saying Insidious, but I know James Wan didn't do it. But it looks exactly the same. They all look exactly the same, all these type of movies, and they're all shot for shot. You can take a scene. This is how bad they are, right? You could take a scene out of one movie, plonk it into another, and you wouldn't notice the difference. That's how bad they are. It's cookie cutter. It's like recycled footage. So what they've probably. I'm back. Right. Look, even the internet does not want me to talk about this movie. It's that bad. Look, even the internet's going, stop it. Stop talking about the movie. You make it a reality. The internet's trying to forget that this movie happened. Trying to cut me off. But yeah. And then the end, I'm going to spoil the end because fucking don't watch this movie. I wouldn't inflict it more worst enemy. Am I back? Sorry about that, folks. My connection's fine. I don't know what's going on here. Like I said, I think the internet doesn't want me to talk about this movie. I'll stick a wee note. Right, we're near done because God, this is bad. But the final scene is Jamie goes back to his father's house, and it turns out he finds this book. I think it was there, or he found it. I don't care at this point. It was just things are being flapped and dangled in front of you, and honestly, like okay. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm glitching like mad here. Keep getting kicked out. So obviously this doesn't want me to talk about it. So the end is she created a perfect doll, which turns out to be his father's wife, and his father's actually a mannequin, and she's been operating from the back and doing random shit. And the movie's horrible. Don't ever watch it. It's crap. And I watched it so you didn't have to. There you go. Apologies for the issues here. I don't know what's going on with my connection. It's just doing random stuff and kicking me out. Could be I keep checking my modem and stuff, and it's going fine. But there we go. So there you go. That was my review. Glitchy as anything. It's a horrible movie. I've been getting the row of stinkers lately. Join me tomorrow. Cameron and I are talking about what Josiah saw and a few other things on the Horrific Talk spot. So that's scheduled. Keep up with the channel, all that good stuff. And until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.